I didn't give Green Bay as much props as they deserve. Now, I know it's only week one, but if they continue to play like this all season, they are going to be a handful in the NFC North.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Top Shelf Tuesday edition, NFL Week 1 wrap-up, dealing with early season injuries, and how did our picks go? We'll see. With us today, Teacher of the Month every month, Mike Connors, and our Captain for Life, Will Cotton. Cotton, man, I'm going to start with you, sir. What was the best thing you saw this opening weekend?
Best thing for me was Commanders got to convincingly win. You know, traditionally when they go in those games, man, those are trap games. You know, those games come down to, a field goal or something like that, or a very, close ending. But they won very easily. It was great. It was
easy.
It was an enjoying experience. I can't wait for this the new stadium.
All right, Connors, what was the best thing you saw this opening weekend?
Not the Giants game, I can tell you that. No, the Giants defense played well, I thought. That's a good team. The best thing I saw today was the Green Bay Packers. They came out and punched the Lions in the face. I mean, Jordan Love had a great day. He was 16 for 22 for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, quarterback rating of 128.6. They came out, they did everything right. Micah had a decent game, got a sack at the end. The defense was smothering. They only had 78 yards rushing, but they still put 27 points up and only gave up 13. So I didn't give Green Bay as much props as they deserve. Now, I know it's only week one, but if they continue to play like this all season, they are going to be a handful in the NFC North.
All right, best thing I saw with a little Mike King Petty. Miami got smoked by Indy. And if you listen to the show, when they made the change in coach in Miami, look, you got the right to do whatever you want to do, but I thought you picked wrong. And it's nice when you see that on occasion the old man gets it right. So, this is going to be a long season for the Dolphins, and it's the Dolphins' fault. All right, Cotton Man, what is the worst thing you saw this opening weekend?
It's got to be the Lions, man. I mean, when you get a trade like Micah Parsons in the division with the Packers, and everyone was still saying like, no, you're still the team to win. A lot of people were saying, no, Green Bay has leapt them already, and taking, and people are saying they're going to the Super Bowl. The Lions had to go in and punch them in the mouth and convincingly win, and they did not, and they got their butt handed to them. Not only that, but Micah Parsons also had a sack when he was coming into the game with an injured back, and it just looked bad. It really looks like Green Bay's divisional win. Not a good look, even though it's the first game of the season. Not a good look for the Lions to start this season.
All right, Connors, what was the worst thing you saw this opening weekend?
I'm gonna have to go with the Jets. The Jets were up 2 scores in the fourth quarter over Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. That's still hard to roll off the tongue.
The high-flying, high-scoring Pittsburgh Steelers.
I mean, the Steelers. Rodgers had a quarterback rating of 136.7 today. He was 22 for 30 for 244 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, if anyone watched that game, the final drive, the Jets gave up a pass interference, and then DJ Metcalf made an acrobatic catch where he tipped it. It hit off a player's butt. Sauce Gardner tipped it. It bounced off Metcalf's chest, and then he caught it. That put them in field goal range. And then the kicker hit a 60-yard field goal with about 15 yards extra on it to win the game. That's just the Jets' luck. The Jets looked decent. They just didn't look decent enough. So that was just a shock that they gave up a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. I said the ninth inning in the fourth quarter.
All right. So Young Adams is coming out with the worst thing I saw. So I'm watching the Dallas Cowboys play Philadelphia. I'm not really paying attention. I'm looking at things strictly for entertainment purposes only. And I see the jersey number 33. And I'm looking, thinking maybe I'm wrong. There's something happened or what have you. And somebody is actually wearing number 33 on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I am sure Javonte Williams is a fine young scholar. He was class valedictorian of his high school, but Tony Dorsett was number 33 for the Dallas Cowboys, and he is, along with Roger Staubach, my two favorite players of all time. And the fact that one, the kid even asked to wear it, or somebody gave it to him, or it was even issued. I hope Dallas loses the rest of the season. And again, Mike King level of petty. There is no way on God's green earth, to quote Harley Race, that anybody in Dallas should wear number 33. Okay. Hey, got that out of the way. Yes, Will, I feel better. So what's the most surprising thing, Will, that you saw this opening weekend?
The Colts. In the season when I thought they were going to tank and get a nice little draft pick, they actually brought it the most surprising win of the actual week, which is amazing for them, which is great. To be honest with you, I don't know if Miami's coach makes it to Halloween. That would be surprising to me. I gave him to Christmas, but I don't even know if Halloween is in his cards.
Oh, man. All right, Connors, what's the most surprising thing you saw this opening weekend?
Yeah, Daniel Jones for the Colts went 22 for 29 for 272 yards. In the first half, he was on pace to break 400 yards passing. He had a quarterback rating of 115.9, and he also had 7 rushes for 26 yards and 2 TDs. After throwing for 1 TD and no interceptions, that's a heck of a game for Daniel Jones. Now, he's shown flashes before of his ability when he took the Giants to the playoffs and beat Minnesota on the road in the playoffs, and then had some downtime. So, as I've said before, I have no ill will to this young man. Hopefully he has a great season. And if he keeps doing it like he does today, it's going to be a great season for him.
All right. And for me, the most surprising thing is that I am surprised. Kickers have one job. And today you saw the good, the bad, and the ugly in like a 10-minute time span. The good, Pittsburgh's kicker won the game for him. The bad, Tampa Bay's kicker couldn't make an extra point. And the ugly, Atlanta's kicker had a chance to tie the game up and didn't get the job done. How do y'all mess this thing up with the kicker thing? I'm still not understanding that. So I'm surprised kickers didn't do the one job they're supposed to do. So with that, fans, in segment 2, we're going to talk about early season injuries and which teams should be very, very careful, be very cautious as we head into week 2. We'll be right back on the iCoaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA Safe Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.ckasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student-athlete succeed. Welcome back to the iCoaches Podcast in segment 2. Story of the week, dealing with early season injuries. Okay, so panel, and I'm going to start with Mike. Which early season injury do you think will have the biggest impact on the rest of the season?
Well, one of the most surprising injuries that I saw or heard about during the preseason was Najee Harris. Now, Najee Harris is a very, very good running back. He's been with Pittsburgh the last 4 years. Now he's with the Chargers out in LA. He injured his eye in an accident with fireworks. Now, they're saying this is a superficial injury. An eye is not something that grows back. It's not like a bone that you can heal. And this was not a competition injury. The man was playing with fireworks. There's been a history of players in the NFL getting injured with fireworks. Biggest case is Jason Pierre-Paul lost his fingers on his right hand. It affected his ability to tackle. Now, he was able to come back and play, not with the Giants who he was with when he got injured. He came back with Tampa Bay, but he was not the player he was before. There was also a cornerback who was with the Buccaneers and was a standout with North Carolina State named C.J. Wilson, who lost 2 fingers, and it cost him his career playing with fireworks. These are explosives. There's a reason that fireworks companies have to have licenses to do this stuff. These guys, one of the most famous examples of risk takers was Will Clark, the baseball player. He had in his contract, he was not allowed to go snowmobiling. He was not allowed to go bear hunting. He had all these things in his contract to keep him safe. They're going to have to start putting all these caveats in contracts, because this was not an injury where he was out playing, or like Aaron Boone, the baseball player, when he blew his knee out playing pickup baseball or pickup basketball in the offseason, and it cost him his career as the Yankees third baseman at the end of his career. These are injuries that are preventable. If I was the Chargers and his eye is damaged, I would cut him and save myself some money. The running back position is a dime a dozen. Okay, they're not top draft picks. There's a few standouts. The Giants got crucified for taking Saquon Barkley #2. Well, we didn't have the team to back him up, but he's doing great with the Eagles. But, we got Scatterboo now, and he seems to be doing very well as a 4th, 5th round pick. Running backs are not a top player like they used to be. You can do it by committee. And Najee Harris needs to be careful. This could be something that costs him a lot more than just a little bit of peripheral vision. And it was avoidable. That's the thing that gets me. As coaches and players, we've all seen our friends do stupid things, whether it be substances or just taking chances doing things or not thinking. Okay? I'm blaming it on maybe being in his mid-20s and a little on the young side, but that's something that could have been prevented, and hopefully it doesn't cost him his career.
All right. Codman, which early season injury do you think will have the biggest impact on the season?
It's got to be KC. This for the first time we've really seen they have no wide receiver right now. Travis Kelce is looking very pedestrian. They don't really have a great running back, even though they have a running back of some committee of some sort. Nobody is really fearing them, Isaiah Pacheco or Kareem Hunt. That's not something that they're looking for. We'll really see if Patrick Mahomes is really him, because he really has nobody to throw to for at least a couple weeks or so like that. And we'll see what happens. But, how the game changes so quickly when they played the Chargers. You could tell their offense is basically not ready to go. Kelsey is, like you said, he's on the dinner circuit. He's getting steak dinners and lobster.
And he's getting married.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And as a man who's been married myself, as you gentlemen as well, those are very stressful times where you have a lot of input of certain things, and that's not really football stuff. So
yeah,
KC is in trouble. I think KC is in trouble.
So I'm split. The Rams quarterback, first of all, Matthew Stafford's already 37, which is dog years in quarterbacking, and he has a aggravated disc in his back, and backs don't get better, they get worse. So between that guy and on the 49ers, Christian McCaffrey, is there any week the last 5 years that he hasn't been on the injury report or been injured? And I have 0.5 check it, he's 29. The math is just not mathing. So, again, we will see and we will monitor all year. But those are the ones that kind of caught my eye. So in segment 3, we'll talk about our rankings, early season, as well as next week's games. We'll be right back on the Eye Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here, and for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond, and that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast in segment 3. Connors, it's early, but are you ready to tell us who the best teams are in the league week 1?
Yeah, I have my top 5 after the first week, and then we had one last week, and a little bit of changes from what we had last week. But in the top spot, again, I got to go with Philly. They beat the Cowboys, and to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. So Philly's still on top. KC last week was number 2. They're not number 2 anymore. I got Buffalo in the number 2 spot, even though they haven't played yet. I got Baltimore in the number 3 spot. One of them might drop out considering they're playing each other in a couple of hours, but I think those are 2 of the better teams. The Packers today, how can you not put the Packers in the top 5 with the way they looked this week? We had Detroit in last week, and Detroit did not play like a top 5 team for sure, but the Packers did. And in the 5th spot, I looked at a couple different teams, but I got to go with the Commanders. They made the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback. They looked good today. Not great, but good. They played against a good defense in the Giants and a bad offense of the Giants, and they did what they had to do to win. They didn't do it on a fluke. They controlled the ball. They controlled the tempo of the game. They didn't take stupid penalties. They looked like a well-coached team with a good quarterback. If Jaden Daniels keeps playing like this, the sophomore slump will not be an issue. He's playing with maturity and brains beyond his years. He's not trying to do everything himself. He is an excellent, excellent football player in the making.
All right. Will Cotton, before we get to week 2 schedule, did we do anything strictly for entertainment purposes only this weekend, sir?
Oh, we did some anytime touchdowns, but not all of them hit. So it's all good. Okay.
Well, for me, I actually took the Commanders and the points and went to the pay window, amongst other things. So still haven't gotten online yet with my odd coaches. Bear with me. The new job is kind of busy. But let's get to the week 2 schedule, and we're going to do an extended preview of this. Washington is playing Green Bay on Thursday. This game comes out on Tuesday. Will was just at the stadium, but they're traveling to Lambeau Field. Will, any thoughts about Washington, Green Bay, Thursday night football? That's going to be a good one.
Both teams get out with no injuries. Everybody's going out playing very well. Both quarterbacks are playing very well. The defenses, surprisingly, are playing very, very well. I think they knew that about Green Bay coming in, but surprisingly, the Commanders' defense was playing a lot better than they've had in previous years. So it should be a really good, exciting game, man, regardless of what whoever wins. But we'll see 2 young, dynamic quarterbacks going at it. That's what the NFL loves. That's what the fans are going to love. Let's go. And back to the Commanders, back in the prime time. So I like it.
All right, Connors, what do you think, man? Green Bay, Washington, game 2, 4 days rest for both teams. Young legs run free. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this is going to be the best game of the weekend, I think, even though it's Thursday night. I mean, Daniels looked great against the Giants. Love, I thought, looked the best I've seen him look yet. He played with great poise. good composure. He seems to have a better knowledge of the offense and where his receivers are going to be and better command. Even in the huddle, he seemed to have a different presence about him from when I was watching and making audibles and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a very, very good game. And the defenses both had good games today. And if they can keep improving, that's going to be a great game to watch Thursday night. I hope I can stay awake for
it. I will not. All right, Mike, I'm going to stay with you Sunday and Monday. I believe we have a doubleheader on Monday as well. Are there any games on the slate that's going to catch your eye for Sunday and Monday?
Yeah, there are a couple games. Of course, being a Giants fan, Giants-Dallas, anytime they play, that's an old school rivalry. It's been pretty lopsided with the Dallas winning most of them as of late, but the Giants still play them pretty tough. And Giants usually play pretty well in Dallas. So I'm hoping that this week was just an anomaly on the offense and they can put a few more points on the board and the defense can hold. If I can hold Dallas to 21 points like they did today or, that or lower points, I'd be happy. Buffalo Jets is always a good game. The Jets look decent today. Buffalo is always a tough team, and this would be a make or break for the Jets. If the Jets start at 0-2, I'm worried the wheels are going to come off very quickly with the same old Jets philosophy. And the third game that could be a make or break for one team is Philly, Kansas City. If Kansas City comes out 0-2, they could be like Baltimore last year, who got off to a slow start with 0-2 or 0-3, and get themselves into a hole. Like we said, not a lot of receivers there. Travis maybe hitting the buffet a little bit too much, in the luxury suite at Taylor's concerts. So we'll have to see what happens there. And the Eagles looked pretty tough as always. I mean, don't like their coach. But they're a good team. They reload. Their general manager is one of the best, and if not the best in the league at securing new talent. So the Eagles, if they can put the Kansas City in a hole and they start out 0-2 in KC, you could see a little panic there possibly.
All right, Cottonman, any games catch your eye for next week?
Oh man, obviously Green Bay versus Washington is going to be Thursday. Is going to be good. Miami versus New England. We'll see what happens if Dolphin goes 0-2. McDaniels may not make it out of October. Cowboys, regardless of record, is going to be a good game. Those guys always play tough, And I think Indy versus Denver is going to be an interesting game. I think Indy won a great game, a lot of momentum going into the game right now. They're playing at home. Denver didn't look like they were super impossible to beat, and I think Indy is looking to go 2-0 on somebody's record. So they have some games in there, not a lot, but you can find some.
Well, speaking of finding some, the game that should have been the game of the week will not be the game of the week. Atlanta is traveling to Minnesota, and that should have been the homecoming of Kirk Cousins, but it's not. So that's just a regular game. And Seattle is traveling to Pittsburgh. DK Metcalf playing his old team. And man, if Pittsburgh can get off to a 2-0 start, that would be quite special. And there's a Monday night doubleheader.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay against Houston and the Chargers against the Raiders. So we'll see what happens with that. That's a pretty long break for the Chargers coming off the Brazil game. Kansas City has to play on Sunday. So
that's a big game. One of those teams that's going to start 0-2 there. That could be a great catapult for either one of those teams that everyone had as a little bit of a question whether they would be a playoff contender or not. If one of those two is going to get up to 0-2, 2-0. 2-0. That's a great start for those clubs.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. So on behalf of our Cavalcade of Stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music,
iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.